This is Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett, and we are opening up and going over the latest release for Wizkids Dungeons & Dragons Attack Wing. This is Wave 4 that so far has, we've gone and checked out the Gargoyle, we've checked out the Gold Dragon, and then we're winding up with the Stone Giant, the second giant to be released for the game. Frost Giant came with the Wave 1 release. So for those who don't know what this game is, it's a miniatures game where you spend points to build an army and you battle out against your opponents. You throw either scenarios or just outright beat the crap out of each other. It's based off of the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game from Wizards of the Coast, which is seeing a resurgence this past year or two. The game's super popular again, and let's see what WizKids has in store for us. So, when they announced what was going to be in this release, we put our thinking cap on and checked out, or made some predictions as to what we think we might see in the release itself. So, before we open things up, according to the monster manual from Wizards of the Coast, the Stone Giants, it's a neutral creature. They have stone camouflage, so it has an advantage on dexterity checks made to hide in rocky terrain. Multi-attack, it makes 2 great club attacks, so we might see that. It has a great club as one of its weapon and a rock as another, and then rock catching. If a rock or similar objective is hurled at the giant can, with successful dexterity throw, catch the missile and take no bludgeoning damage. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that to try to translate the figure to the game. First up, we've got the figure itself to look at. Pretty cool figure. Some nice detail. Some shading around the legs, which is really nice. Overall, not bad. Not bad at all. Kind of digging it. This is the Stone Giant according to the Monster Manual. This one here. This is what we're given. So that's a pretty good interpretation of the figure to the game. Not bad. Alright, so let's dig in. So, as I said, there's a couple ways you can play the game. Scenarios is a really popular way, considering that it has to do with their organized play. You usually play scenarios, or you do play scenarios. And let's go over the scenario first. This one is Adventure 6.3, The Whispering Gate. The Stone Giant Elder Anachrom has been lying in a state of suspended animation for many years, and his own request is a reward for building the stone anchor that holds the chain spire in the ground, as well as the capstone at the other end of the chain spire that holds the Palace Luminos in place. Anachrom also created the stone runes located throughout the palace, blah, 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 blah. Powerful curses bestowed on the stone rune spell, which is... Okay. So, the game is 2 players, Legion points. Anachrom's 50, those who woke him is 90 points. The Ebon Cloak campaign artifact, center of the Archway token with its long side against Anachrom's starting edge. Afterwards, the player places their creatures in their starting area. Normally, set up 2 players. Waves of shadow energy spoil from the gates. At the start of the end phase, Anachrom sets the Shadowfell token, so its sharp corner touches the center mark of the Archway token, and so that its wide end points in the direction. The Shadowfell token then represents the arc of the cone attack that affects all creatures within range 1 to 4 of the rounded edge. Objective. Anachrom wins at the end of any round in which all enemies are eliminated. And then those who woke him, this force wins if Anachrom is eliminated. If both forces eliminated during the same round, replay the adventure. So going over, this was the Archway and the kind of the shadow token that was mentioned. We have some disabled tokens and your various other tokens, and then we have Stone Skin and Slammed. That sounds interesting. Let's go over what you get, though. So you get a relatively quick creature. Not quite, I'm comparing it to the Frost Giant. Not quite as fast as the Frost Giant. They both move forward 4. Other than that, it's looking like everything's the same. The big difference here is that forward arc 4 here would be is red compared to the Frost Giant. Oh, no, that looks red as well. Okay, so they're the same movement. Good. Cost-wise, the Frost Giant, we're looking at 25 and 35. This one is 25 and 36, so comparative points for figures for the most part. So this one is a little bit tougher. So the big difference between them is this one's got actually has defense, and the health, the life, isn't quite as good for the lower cost. It does have a pretty massive ranged attack, which is nice. Ranged 4 of a rock, and it has a club. So sticking with the flavor of the character, the attacks 3, defense 2, the life of 5, or health of 5, and defense of 2. So a little bit tougher than the Frost Giants, which is about what we'd expect. When Anachrom attacks with a primary weapon, rock attack, his target rolls -1 defense die. So, kind of cool, especially if you're doing range 4, where they would get a +1, you're negating that. So, not bad as far as attacks. I probably would lean towards the 36-pointer just for that -1 attack defense die. I think that it's going to be really, really handy in games going forward. So, let's see what we have here. We have Stone Skin, an arcane spell. Whenever you are attacked by a primary weapon, the attacker rolls -1 attack value attack die. If the attacker has a primary weapon value of 5 or higher, the attacker rolls -2 attack dice instead. So nice spell that will be you can use. Anchorum has the ability to use it. So cost of 4, putting him at 40 points. Not bad at all. Anyone can use that one. The campaign artifact, the cost 2, is the Ring of Freedom of Movement. You may discard this card at any time to remove 1 effect token from beside your creature, therefore freeing you from that effect. You may discard this card at any time to flip one of your face-up damage cards face down. So that's the Ore. Pretty cool. There's a lot of cards now that are doing effects to other creatures, so that could be very, very helpful. Cost of 2. This one's cost of 4. While you're on the ground, you may disable this upgrade to roll +2 defense dice against a line, cone, burst, or other attack that specifies that it can attack more than one creature. You cannot equip another Bracer's upgrade if you use this, so no other Bracer cards. So right now we're seeing a lot playing off of the Stone Giant's toughness as far as flavor of the cards. Cost 1, rock catching. When we mentioned the flavor that we said something to do with catching rocks, it is here. So you roll 1 defense die against primary weapon range attacks, or roll +3 defense die against primary weapon ranged rock attacks. Cost +2 for non-giants. So again, we have something that makes them a little bit tougher. With 2 costs, direct hit during a primary weapon range attack, add +1 attack if your target is at range 1. Not bad. Though with a creature that can do range 4, I don't want to get within range 1. Slam. During the combat phase, when you may target one enemy creature that was just damaged by your primary weapon rock attack, that creature receives the continuous effect below. The affected creature loses all charge, target, and concentrate tokens and cannot perform any actions. Once the effect ends for any reason, discard this card. So that's pretty cool. So this one must be a giant to equip. Awesome Blow. During the combat phase, you may disable this upgrade to target one creature that has a smaller base than yours if that creature was just damaged by your primary weapon melee attack. That creature must immediately perform a forward or backwards 2 maneuver at your discretion as long as the creature does not move towards you during this movement. The creature sustains 1 normal damage for each creature obstacle on its play level that overlaps or moves through during this movement. The creature does not roll defense dice or use armor to deflect this damage. Kind of cool. That's actually a really, really neat idea of bunching, moving figures around. So it's kind of an interesting one, considering a lot of the cards that have come out in Wave 4 and Wave 3 has made you not want to bump up your creatures. The Awesome Blow would kind of, in a way, get you to move someone else towards a whole bunch of other creatures. So who knows what the effectiveness is. That'll be kind of interesting to see if that's used in play and how that's used in play. But overall, the cards that are in here kind of backs up the flavor of the Stone Giant. A lot to do with rocks and increasing their toughness and resilience is exactly what we'd expect in the Monster Manual. So again, Wizkids has done a great job. It'll be fascinating to see how these come into play in the month 3 OP organized play event for Wizkids. So stay tuned and we'll let you know. But for now, appreciate you watching. This is Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. Until next time, you can catch us every single day at graphicpolicy.com. You can also find us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all at Graphic Policy. Keep it geeky, keep on rolling the dice. Thanks for watching.